Read, read, read and grow. Learn new words each day. The more you read, the more you know. Read and grow. Hey, you all. My name is Beverley Reed, and again, I'm here to read you another story. The name of this story is Hallie's Song. Now, this is a fiction realistic, and it's a level T book suitable for fifth graders. Let's get going. I placed the email over Dad's music sheet. He was at the keyboard with his headphones on, working, even though it was 2 in the morning, when normal dads were sound asleep. He pulled the headphones off. Hallie, you still up, sugar? He read the email and then looked at me over the top of his glasses. So, when did you two start emailing? I had been emailing her for a couple of months now. She'd been sending me cards for years. She was always a bit erratic about them. Sometimes months between the cards, but that's because her life was so big and full. The last one she wrote said that she had a certain joie de vivre that she hoped I had too. I had to look that one up. It's French for joy of living. Most of the time, her assistant answered my emails, but every now and then, especially late, real late at night, Mom would write one herself, like this one. You'll wait until summer, I hope, Dad said. She says to come now. Mom live in the moment in real life time. Carpe diem, she wrote in her email. I looked that one up too. It is Latin for seize the day. She'd never invited me to come before, but I am 17 now. I could be on my way. I had to seize the moment. What about school? Dad asked. Don't they have tutors and stuff on movie sets? I asked. Dad read the email again. I think he was stalling. He patted his shirt pocket for the Phantom cigarette pack. He'd quit smoking 10 years ago. You'll wait until after we go to the concert, right? He saw the answer in my face, but he kept going. We've been planning on it for months. I've got the tickets and everything. Front row. I wrote the song just for you. And then, as a last-ditch effort, it's your favorite band. There was a time when I would have pushed right in next to him on the piano bench and we'd bang out some crazy rendition of his latest song. Instead, I pulled the e-ticket from the plane strip out of my back pocket. Mom sent this. I felt bad about missing the concert. Really, I did. But I could hear the song anytime. Hallie, honey, you don't know her the way I know her. I think you should wait. Your mother loves you, isn't just? You don't want me to see her. That's it, isn't it? He looked startled. No, it's not that. Well, then what? Why have you kept me from her all these years? I haven't kept you. I just think now is not a good time. He looked at the email again and muttered. She should know better. It wasn't quite under his breath. When I heard it, I was ballistic. Maybe she does know better. Maybe you're jealous because she's the famous one. Everyone adores her, and you're just some nobody who writes songs for other people to sing. I wanted to stop the words coming out of my mouth. I should have. But he made me so mad. I'd live with my dad forever. When would I get the chance to know my mother? He handed me the email. Promise me you'll get that tutor. Part of me wanted to throw my arms around his neck and thank him, but I was still mad too. I just nodded and turned away. I was practically the first one off the plane when we landed. Mom had bought a first-class ticket for me. The flight attendants had done everything but give me a foot massage. And I got the impression they would have done that too if I had asked them one. For one, life with mom was going to be a blast. I scanned the waiting area and then remembered people can't get past security unless they have a ticket. She was probably at the baggage carousel. I knew what she looked like. Of course. Hardly a month went by when she wasn't in Star Fame magazines or on the cover of something. When I got to the baggage area, there was still no sign of her. Maybe she was stuck in traffic. LA was famous for traffic, wasn't it? Once I'd collected my luggage, I was unsure what to do next. I turned on my cell phone, expecting a text to pop up. Nothing. Just as I was about to punch a number, a woman came speed walking towards me. She held up a white cardboard square with my name written in red magic marker. Haley. I nodded. She stuck out her hand. I'm Ines, your mom's assistant. She couldn't make it. They would have swarmed her here. Ines looked around as if they, the paparazzi, I assume, were stalked out and ready to pounce. Sorry I'm late, the traffic. She drifted off, rummaging through her mammoth purse. Is she in the car? I looked out the glass door for some football field length limo, but saw nothing but a line of yellow cabs and shuttle buses. Ah, found them. Ines held up car keys. Ready? She took off at a clip, and I struggled behind, juggling all my stuff. I was thankful to see that Ines had parked nearby, illegally, in a no waiting zone. I wrestled my bags into the trunk while Ines frantically texted, Your mom will meet you for dinner. I'll take you to the house to get settled in. Ines spent the drive talking into an earpiece in cryptic sentences. I spent the drive gawking out the window. The higher we climbed into the hills, the fewer houses I saw, all tucked behind gates and landscaping. Ines pulled into a drive and pushed a button like Dad's garage door open. Only this time, this one parted in iron gates. The drive took a long, wide curve, and then her house. Mom's house came into view. Wow! Ines deposited me with the housekeeper, who deposited me in my room. It overlooked the infinity edge pool and had a television, a stocked bar, Dad would freak, and a bathroom bigger than our living room at home. I unpacked and then peeked out the door to be sure there wasn't some servant waiting to carry out my wishes. There wasn't. I had the urge to call Dad, but I didn't want him to know Mom had met me at the airport. So I put my phone on the bedside table and turned on the television. I watched a shopping network hawk really ugly jewelry. How did they go on for 45 minutes over a ladybug pin with fake ruby eyes? I must have fallen asleep, but her voice, a voice I'd known from movies and appearances on talk shows, brought me up from the depth of slumber. My darling daughter, oh, my darling Haley. Groggily, I sat up. Haley, she grabbed my arms and pulled me up. Mom, good heavens, how you've grown. Just look at you. I can't believe it. She looked truly stunned. Who would believe I have daughter your age? She gripped my shoulders, holding me at arm's length, studying me. Then she pulled me close and whispered, We'll say we're sisters, shall we? Her giggle tricked my ears. I'm so sorry I didn't meet you at the airport. Eduardo wanted an interview, and you just can't say no to Eduardo. I thought we'd have a nice little dinner tonight and catch up. Suddenly, I felt uncomfortable. Catch up? How do you catch up on a lifetime? She put her hand on my cheek. My goodness, it's like looking in a mirror. I looked into her face. It wasn't the one I saw looking back at me from the magazine racks in the supermarket. She wore gobs of makeup. Her lips were saggy like balloons that had deflated, and the mane of hair she was famous for, up close I could see knots of extensions. And then Ines called her away for a quick phone message that turned out to be an important invitation that took her away for the rest of the evening. I'm sorry, sweets. I promised to make it up to you, she said, running out the door. The next day, it was an interview with the West Coast Times, and then just a quick stop at the cocktail party. She circulated. I drank tomato juice and ate exotic food that made me sick later. The day after that, it was a visit to a movie set where she was going to explain the behind the scenes stuff of movie making. Instead, there were a dozen conversations with people who had to take her aside for just a moment. But finally, the following afternoon, she flew into my room, draped her arms around my shoulder, and asked me what we girls should do tonight. I actually felt giddy with the possibility, I said a little shyly. I've always imagined the two of us. Ines came bolting down the corridor just as she had at the airport, earpiece still in place. I think I hated her at the moment because I knew before she even spoke, I'm sorry, Haley, dear. My mother said, I will make it up to you. I promise. But you can't say no to Jay. Obviously, she shouldn't say no to Jay, or Eduardo, or the West Coast Times, or a zillion movie set people. But she could always say no to me. I made my decision and got Ines to give me a ride back to the airport the next morning. If there were no delays, I would make it home in time for the concert. Tell your dad I love his new song, she said after I'd unloaded my bags from the trunk. You know my dad? I asked. Are you kidding? He's a legend. The Porter handed me the bag checks, and I looked at them as if they were in Greek or something. A legend? You didn't know? What a performer! They said he'd be the next Elton John, but he just walked away from it all. No one has a clue why he did it. A cop waved her on, and she pulled away from the curb before I could tell her why. The end. This is a very lovely story, and I'm sure that my students will be answering some questions on the standard that we're working on. Have yourselves a great day and see you soon. Bye-bye.